Okay, it says, do you become re-traumatized every time you find out something new, or is it a response to the initial trauma? There we go. Estelle also typed it out. What do you think, Tabitha? Maybe we can ask Tabitha.
Yeah, I think personally, if I use my own experience of trauma, being molested as a child, I personally think, I mean, there's obviously always a scientific explanation, but I'd rather talk from a personal experience, is that I know that there's been certain times in my life, like when I fell pregnant, I immediately worried, like, I don't want this to happen to my kids, so I think throughout your process, like healing is obviously not linear. So the way I think in my brain is like, there's parts of my trauma that have been healed because I've done what I needed to, but there's times where that trauma gets, awakened again, especially being a mother. And I feel that it does lead me back to the first trauma. So I think that there will always be a connection. It's sort of like the foundation of what happened to you. Obviously, like that's the experience. I think as you grow and you heal, the triggering becomes less and you are able to rationalize better, because in the beginning, you're not able to rationalize. It's like a combination, it's like, I think it opens that wound, but you've sort of worked on it. But I always say, once I know better, I can do better, right? So obviously over time, as you heal, you're able to make better decisions. And then I don't think it's as traumatic as the first few years of, what you are doing. But I think it's a process, and I don't think it's something that you obviously don't live in the trauma as deeply as you had for many years. And I think as God heals you and as you do the work, and I mean, often when I hear a lot of the ladies step ones and I hear what they've been through, like, it doesn't trigger me as badly as it would have 5 years ago. Like I can associate and I can sympathize and I can resonate with what they're going through. But the pain or the trauma isn't as bad. I wouldn't go to bed and have a nightmare or think about my own experience. So I think it's a combination of both, Lauren. I think it's a matter of, yes, it's like the root is whatever happened. But then it's like, I always think like God is so faithful. It's like sort of like he grows a garden over the trauma, if that makes sense. Like that's how I visualize it in my head. Like over time, he's taken that experience and he's made it beautiful for me, that I've been able to help others, that I've been able to protect my children from things that, my parents didn't know better in those days, So I think it's about taking your trauma and allowing it to flow. And I think everyone's looks different, Kenneth. I think everyone's process looks different. But yeah, that's the way I see it. I think it's a combination of both, Lauren. It's like the fundamental trauma, but as you grow and as you heal, there's other things that will trigger you less and there's other things that you will manage better, but it's a process. And I don't think, it's like God comes to heal. It's sort of like that, those Japanese bowls that get dropped, the bowl is still there, but it's the gold in between that makes it valuable, So I think it's like those gold pieces that you put together that God heals, but the bowl is still there. The trauma is still there, but it's not, the focus isn't the broken bowl anymore. The focus is the gold that God puts between the bowl, if that makes sense.